read. Senator Fischer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, General, and thank you for your service and your family as well. I appreciated the conversation that we were able to have in the SCIF and the focus we had on JROC. I would follow up with ranking member's comment on the JSIDS process. I think we have a real opportunity here to fundamentally change that requirement process and be able to leverage resources. So I am also interested in your views and any thoughts you may have on that in the future as well. You also mentioned the PPB&E reform and touched on kind of a broad category of recommendations. Do you have any specific ones that stood out?
The report comes up with a lot of very common sense recommendations. Some of the ones that I believe in the department we may have authorities right now, but we may have to, if we come close to the line, come back to this committee and others for some authorities relief. Flexibility in the year of execution and the availability of funds. For operations and maintenance funds, they're available for a year. Flexibility to bring them across fiscal years to 2 or 3 years would help. Also, built-in protections against continuing resolutions so that we're not living our modernization life by anomalies. To my knowledge, Mr. Putin and Mr. Xi don't do modernization by anomalies. That would help. Those are two ideas, but there are many common sense ones throughout that. One more that comes to mind as the old budget guy is flexibility with the threshold amounts for reprogramming. In other words, being able to take larger amounts and move them across budget activities or move them across accounts so that we spend them the way the taxpayers meant it to be spent.
Okay, great, thank you. With combatant commanders, have you're looking at their concerns that they have and any operational requirements that they have, how are you going to take those into consideration in the future JROC processes?
Yeah, the combatant commanders' requirements are extremely important. They're critical, and quite frankly, they're the engine that's going to make the integration of the joint force run. So, if confirmed, through the JROC process and other processes, the combatant commanders' sensitivities, requirements will be brought to the fore and treated very seriously.
Okay, thank you. Senator King, who's not here right now, but he and I are on strategic forces, and we often refer to the NC3 as the fourth leg of the triad. And the President's ability to command, control, and communicate with our nuclear forces, I know you understand how important that is. It underpins our entire deterrent. Unfortunately, the services have not consistently prioritized modernizing NC3 systems. The JROC and now the sunsetting JSIDS process provided a framework. It was a cumbersome one, but it was provided to ensure the proper resourcing of those NC3 systems. If confirmed, how do you plan to work with the Secretary, the services, STRATCOM, to ensure that NC3 modernization efforts are going to progress in a not just coordinated, but also a timely manner?
Yeah. Ma'am, as you well state, strategic stability is undergirded by our strategic posture, our strategy, and we have to understand that we have the rise of another nuclear peer in China. If I am confirmed on the JROC, we will take on this new challenge and make sure that the requirements and gaps are filled expeditiously and married up with resources to the extent that I can influence it. Okay. The nuclear posture review is pretty clear about where we are with the terrestrial leg, where we are with the maritime leg, where we are with the air-delivered leg, and as you point out, NC3 being that fourth leg, and we need to modernize and accelerate all of those.
You need to be on schedule at least, right?
That's a start, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. In the FY24 NDAA, Congress established a program of record for Slickum, and that was to fill a capability gap that currently exists there. Are you familiar with the program?
I am somewhat familiar, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sure you'll look into it, make sure it's on time.
Yes, Senator.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator.